What's up, guys? It's Thursday, March 14th, 2024. That is the Bitcoin block height. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm a little tired today. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep lately. Trying to get a lot of stuff done. Had some interesting things happen. First thing is I talked to a golfer today. Really nice guy. Really smart and really rich. This guy had a lot of money, man. And we got to talking. Oh, speaking of golfers, before I forget, I keep forgetting this. I want you guys to subscribe to a channel called 88 Sats Radio. This guy, I think he's a professional golfer or semi-professional golfer. He does Bitcoin videos every morning. He does a live, but he also break his, he does it for like 45 minutes to an hour, but he also break the video up into little clips and stuff.
And so one question I got on YouTube, I think, from one of the shorts was, what's a Satoshi? So a Satoshi is just basically a fraction of a Bitcoin. In every Bitcoin, there are 100 million Satoshis within it. So think of it like dollars and cents. In every dollar, there's 100 cents. In every Bitcoin, there's 100 million Satoshis. And I do think as the price of Bitcoin goes up, as the network grows more and more, we're going to have to start changing these to be microsats. And when that happens, the people who are holding Bitcoin right now are going to be in for a pretty good life, I would say, financially, wealth-wise. So even though they can't print more Bitcoin, there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. We can continue dividing Bitcoin further and further into Satoshis, micro Satoshis, and so on and so forth.
He's from Canada. He's been in Bitcoin since I think 2020, something like that. Really down to earth guy, man. He has a lot of good information. He got a lot of good tools, man. He's real laid back. He sits back and chill. He's just like us, and he's really helpful. He really is, man. We have to stick together during this time and, learning this stuff because it's a brand new asset. It's only 15 years old. But back to the golfer, I was talking to him and he saw one of my shirts. And again, real quick, I keep going on a tangent. If you guys want somebody to know something or something about you, wear a shirt. You know what I mean? My shirts get a lot of attention. Somebody that's paying attention, right? So anyway, we got to talking. He saw my shirt and he's like, hey, I guess you like Bitcoin. I said, yeah. And we was talking. He was asking me questions and I was answering them. And I said, I didn't tell him anything about my YouTube channel. I just played it off like I was a normal citizen. Because I am the farthest thing from that. I'm very abnormal, if you haven't noticed. And I said, well, what do you know? Tell me what you know. And he was telling me, and he told me he bought some before, but he sold it and everything. And I said, okay. And then he was talking to me about cryptocurrencies and the market, and he has gold and stuff like that. And I said, okay. He goes, so what do you think about Bitcoin? What do you think it's going to do? And I just kind of look like, you're asking the right person. And then I told him in a nice calm way, because I started shaking like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell him this. I said, well, sir, I think it's the future of money. I do. Right now it's a store of value. And I started breaking down the 4 steps to money, collectible, store of value, medium of exchange, and then the world reserve currency. I said, we're at step 2, part of step 3. He goes, wow, you know some stuff, huh? After I told him what I said. That's things I tell you guys we talk about all the time. I said, well, I've been really studying it. And I told him my story. I said, yeah, I had some precious metals too. I came from the traditional finance realm. And then I found out about precious metals. And I said, have you noticed the price has been going up? And just to see where he was at with inflation. He's like, oh yeah, man. I said, yeah, inflation's crazy, right? And then I try not to act like I'm smarter than somebody or something, because I almost, it's almost like I know they don't know what inflation is because we're taught not to learn it. So I kind of said, yeah, do you know what's causing it, right? Or, something to that effect. And he goes, oh yeah, man, supply and demand's really bad. And I said, yeah, it is. I said, but the main catalyst to that is, they print money. He goes, yeah, they do print money. And then that kicked in, and then he started talking about that. And I go, yeah, they're debasing the currency by, just printing more dollars than there are goods and services and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, Bitcoin, you can't do that. There's only 21 million of them. And I started breaking that down. He's like, wow. And I said, yeah, man. I said, maybe you should take a look at buying some and just holding it. You know, he's like, yeah. He said, how much should I buy? I said, I can't tell you that. I said, but what I would do if I were you, because this is what I did, I studied it. I really, really put the work in. And I'm telling you, sir, the more and more I studied, the more and more I understood it and learned it and realized that this is the future. It is the future of money. And I said, I eventually sold all my gold and silver, and I turned it into Bitcoin. He's like, really? I said, yeah. He goes, do you still have your stock portfolio? I said, no. I don't know. He's like, really? I said, yeah. And it's funny because, you know, when you're talking to a normie, and most people are normies, 99% of them, and that's not a diss when I say that. It's just, you know, we are taught these things to live in the fiat world. They just don't. It's almost talking to somebody back in the 1600s that have a horse and carriages about, you know, the car that's coming or something, or a train, or, you know, those little analogies we use. It's just a brand new technology. Even though we're in a digital world, they just can't imagine a money that can't be debased, you know, and can't be cheated. And it's ran by the people, and it's for the people, of the people, by the people. And I was telling him that. He's like, wow. I was like, yeah, man. And I gave him some resources to look up, and he's like, okay, thanks a lot, no problem. And hopefully I orange pilled him. I don't know if I did or not. The point of that story is this, guys. The reason I tell you to study Bitcoin profusely, you got to study it hard, is because when you're out and about and you hear somebody talking about Bitcoin or something like that, you got to know what you're talking about, right? And then again, I've said this 100 times. Once you teach them, you learn it twice. It's once taught, twice learned. You got to get out there and study. You got to study for your family. This money is for your family and for the future generations of this country. Listen, Bitcoin is a baby. It's 15 years old. I was sitting there looking at my grandson today. He's 2 years old. And I'm not saying I remember when I was 2, but I remember when I was a little tyke and stuff like that. You know, I changed his diapers and everything else. And we've all had people change our diapers, whether it's your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, whoever. And now, 47 years later, you know, I'm 49 now, and I was born 1975, so 1975, 76, 77, I was getting my diaper changed, and I was looking at my grandson, and I'm like, wow, this kid, his world is going to be completely different than mine. And that's why I go so hard on Bitcoin, because when my grandparents raised me, they couldn't even imagine back in the 70s what we had today in 2024 and what the world that I live in today. And I think we have more in common with the people from the past, like my past self when I was a kid, and even in the 50s and 40s right now, than we do to the people in the future. I think we have less in common with the people that's going to be in the future. The future is going to be nuts. I truly believe that. And you got to get out there and don't be selfish. I talk to a lot of people that tell me, you know, say to me, you know, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you telling everybody? Why are you wasting your time and blah, blah, blah? Man, listen, if I can get one person, just one, to say, man, I listened to you, man, and I studied Bitcoin, or I studied my country, or I learned about the presidents, and I learned about how government works, and, you know, the things that we talk about on this channel, mostly Bitcoin lately, but, you know, I did that and it changed my life, man. It changed the trajectory of my whole family's legacy. You can't put a price tag on that. You know what I mean? You just can't. So I hope you guys had a good day. Again, study, and pass the word on. Tell everybody you can, because remember, you got the pill in your pocket. People are sick. They don't even know they're sick, but you have the medicine to give them. And so when you're telling people about this, people are slaving and they're working and they're not getting what they used to get. Their money is not going as far as it used to. And there's only one remedy to do that, to stop that leakage of energy. And you know what it is? The best way to save. And to me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.